Saying your name is just about the hardest thing to do for many people who stutter. It sure was for me. Here's what I did. Ordinarily, I would take one small step at a time, but I didn't have that choice for my starting point this time. Right away, I had to answer my phone for business by saying my name. After many fits and starts, I finally landed on this approach. The phone would ring. I would exhale, smile, take a deep breath, and speak on the exhale, Larry Stein. I did this so many times that I was soon as well practiced as a professional basketball player shooting free throws. Same thing every time, swoosh. That was a start, but introducing myself in person seemed like a much greater challenge. I pulled out all my strategies. First, I had to change my mindset. I realized that I built up my name to such a huge thing that it was ridiculous. That had to stop. Just as I lived phrase to phrase, I had to view my name as just another phrase. This took time, but it turned out to have a very positive impact. People I mentor nowadays tell me this strategy is a game changer in saying their name. It's just another phrase. Then I turned to my small step strategy. As usual, I started with the easiest situations, little kids, old people, phone calls to restaurants, hotels, hardware stores. The list went on and on. The more I introduced myself in easy situations, the more I began building a habit in saying my name. By the time I felt ready to introduce myself to adults in person, I had introduced myself in easier situations a zillion times. Still, I wasn't totally confident, but I was probably as ready as I would get. Fortunately, I had the ideal circumstance for introducing myself, a large social gathering I attended every Saturday afternoon. I looked around the room for the friendliest face I could find. As I was about to make my first introduction, I noticed that I still feared saying my name. I realized that decades of failure still loomed large, even with all those practice runs. Apparently, the sticking point for me was introducing myself face to face. Frankly, I didn't know what to do, so I turned to imagery. This will sound strange. I imagined that I would feel warm rays of light emanating from the person's face and see them smile, even if they weren't. With a healthy dose of imagination, this friendly face was now bursting with warmth. I smiled, reached out my hand, and said, "I don't think we've met. I'm Larry Stein." One done. Okay, so I snuck in some filler words at the last moment. "I don't think we've met." But I did it. I introduced myself to an adult stranger. I was 57 years old, and that may have been the first time in my life that I voluntarily introduced myself to a stranger. Encouraged, I looked around for the next friendliest face I could find and introduced myself. Another win. Over the next few weeks, I introduced myself around that social hall every Saturday so many times that finally in the third week, I felt so confident that I calmly reached out my hand, smiled, and simply said, "Larry Stein." No filler words, no imagination, just me, Larry Stein, just like that. A weight fell off my shoulders, the sun shined bright and birds sang. It was done. I was free. Being able to say my name changed everything for me. No longer would I have to hide from any speaking situation. I could just be me. I found a lot of surprises in my stuttering journey, but this may be the biggest of them all, to be the real me.